So who is calling this app.js?
Sorry.
Somebody will be calling this app.js, no, some trigger point actually. Ah, okay.
And you have this visual
That is not this.
this folder structure I showed you, right?
Ah,
So, under src, you have app.js, you
ah,
have index.js. So these all file when I open, I will show you how that flow is happening.
okay.
So now, for now, you just have a look at this particular file. So this is a plain HTML file. Okay. Now in this HTML file, you have this body section. In the body section, basically you are having a div called ID root. So this is where your program execution starts. So you have the HTML, in the body you have just the root. Okay. Now, what is this root? We'll see now. Before that, like as usual, we import scripts. So here you have all scripts which is imported. So here it is a main.js for label. Okay. All modules defined which will be you will be importing, right? Those all you are importing here as an script.
Hmm.
Then here you have a React import, and also you have React DOM client import.
Right.
So this is just the importing all the items. Now in React.js, actually similar to Java, you import like this classes, like import that class name.
Right.
These are the component basically. The components, you can think they are a class. So from this is a like variable name, and this is the real component name. So from this class you are importing, and you are saying name it, refer it as this particular variable.
But what is this strict mode, by strict mode?
Strict mode will be for that, strictly it will use for this particular framework only. The structure which you will be using, that must have to follow this React standard.
Okay. So should I, for every import, should I put strict mode?
Not necessary. So strictly it will use, this is a standard React library. That's
Hmm.
why you have to use that, not
Okay.
for your
So it
customization.
will be refer. Okay. So the right side React is from the actual library. So it is this, the left side React will be like the
Variable.
one which variable kind of thing.
Huh,
Can we think like that?
right.
Hmm.
So while writing that import statement in Visual Studio Code, do you have any shortcuts,
Yeah,
Manoj ji?
you will have that import options.
Because we don't have to remember every time, right? We
Right.
can simply mention like that.
Be able to just use them, like you need to have that import when you type, then it will come similar to Java. So you need the plugins accordingly.
Okay.
Now the functions which we created. So you have this my button function, and then you have this my app function. I see that my app function I'm creating as an object here in app.
Hmm.
So this my function, I'm creating this entire function as an object called app.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have this constant root, and what is this root? It is saying create root document dot get element by id root. Now see what it is doing. Whatever you have here, right? Div id root, it is identifying that. So when your code is running, it is telling, give me the id root. It identifies this particular div, where it is going to actually replace the or render the code after calculating everything. Okay, so it got that root, and then it's saying root dot render strict mode app. So this will become a kind of a keyword for you, this app, and strictly it will follow this standard of React. Okay, now strict mode tag you have used, and then below you have as usual the styles you can define like this, which is inside your code. The styles, the CSS, all CSS code you can define. Okay, so this is a single file which is an application in itself, single HTML file. Okay, now when you saw the folder structure which I showed you, basically that single HTML file has different parts. Those parts are organized into different component or folder structures here. That's how
So
React
this
application starts with.
this entire HTML is split into several folders in the project structure. Yes, sir.
Correct. Correct. And that how you are organizing this folder structure is very flexible. You can have of your own. You don't have to follow exactly how it is here. That's why, like as a just normal HTML file, I'm able to run this application. Right. So the now we'll see how the structure is formed. What are the different parts of that structure? So in this application, so Venu, today manage. I'll see later on for the background.
Sure, sure, sure.
So let's see first how about node modules. Okay, so node modules, like in pom.xml you are importing all different jar files. Same way here, all different inbuilt JS libraries you can import. Okay, and how we do that is defined in package.json. So now let's see what is package.json. Is similar to your pom.xml, right? It has a name, version, and then dependencies. So these dependencies are nothing but all the libraries which you want to import. So when you basically run the application with the npm start, that time it first calls this package. It reads all those library names and it downloads all those libraries if they are not there already. If it is already there in node modules, then fine. If no, then it will download them. Then you can write scripts, commands like this. So these are the different commands which you will be using in the command prompt. So like npm start. So when I say npm start, I'll show you later on. That time, basically this particular command will run. So after npm, whatever commands you want to define, right? You can give the definition here in this file itself. Okay, so it is similar to in the Jenkins files also. In Jenkins files also you can define. So you have seen Jenkins file, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Similar to Jenkins files. So you have start JSON server, start dev. I can run in dev modes, test mode, production mode, every different ways. Then for ES lint configuration, I can have it. That is for testing. And then I can say list of browser which I'm going to support in production, what I'm going to support in development, what are their versions, all those things. So your import is done. Then you have to your application is compiled. Now it is running. So during run, what it is going to do is first it is going to execute this index.js file.
Why should it execute index.js by here?
Sorry.
Why should call index.js only first here? Any reason behind?
No, that is again customized.
Okay.
That is again customized. That is by default, and I will show you. So before that, then let me show you worker service worker. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the core module which is functioning behind all these executions. How the execution is happening. So first, when you are running the an application after compilation, it executes this. Okay, and you
There is
check
somebody is calling this service worker.js.
service worker dot will be called by the application by the React library inbuilt
Okay.
library.
So by default it will identify the name like this and it will be called. Okay. So when we create any React project, default it will be having service worker.js by
By
or
default,
we
it
have,
will have. So yeah, so like when you use some starter, right, and
huh.
create it, then automatically it will have.
And can we add some other custom code also here?
You can do that. So if
Okay.
you see here, like Windows dot location, then it means local host. So
Okay.
these
Okay.
all you can change.
Okay. Got it.
Windows dot location dot host name. So if you have a host, then you can change the host name. Okay, and also dynamically when you deploy this application in any AWS any cloud, right? Then
Huh.
based on this variable, they automatically replace their IP, their domain, or all such things.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Then you have this register functions where you are registering about the different node environments. Okay, and you check this based on whether it is a production or not, and then you basically define your public URL. So these are customized variable wise so that when you deploy the application in any environment, it will identify those variables, standard variable names, and it can replace the domain or IP or those kind of data. Now you have this method add event listener. Okay, so when you do window.event listener, so anything happening in the window, this is service worker.js is loaded. If it is localhost, it will do this operations. It will validate. It will check the service worker, and then if it is not, then it will do register whether it is a valid or not. Now let's see what it is going to do inside the register valid method. We have a navigator dot service worker is registering that particular URL. Then for that registration, if you see this is a lambda function. You have done lambda right in Java.
Huh.
These are lambda functions.
Okay.
So this is the internal code. Okay, it will register. It will check. You don't have to write
Huh.
this. It will automatically come as a inbuilt. Then you have check validator service worker. The service worker, it is every time it makes some calls, it checks the status, and based on that, all the error handlings it will do. So it has its own error handling mechanism which it will do. So this is the default error handling mechanism in the React. So like when you will see there is some error in Java, it will show you stack trace, right? So at
Correct.
up to certain level, you will see your user defined exceptions, what you have defined in your exception block or in your catch block. Remaining
Huh.
after that, it will go to stack trace of Java's standard. How it is, executing all the way in the JRE or JVM. That same thing is defined here. So this is the inbuilt way of handling.
Okay.
Okay. So now service workers will be running. Then index.js is the default class, JS file which is called, and in index.js you are calling this app function basically, and that you are mapping with the root. You are passing this root where you are rendering this content or app. Okay. Now, if you look at these imports, you have to import all these things. So same I showed you the React. You are importing from React. React DOM you are importing from React DOM. So you are basically giving a variable name for that particular library, and using that variable name, you can call all functions which are available inside this library. So this is done, and then you see here service worker.register. Then you are saying that you want to register the particular app with service worker. So when you are running the application, right? When you are running the application, then in the backend, it keeps you alive. So like a thread kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
So have like um, one thread which will be a main thread will be running, and then under main thread all your child threads run.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Then a couple of other things which are commented here, but you might need to know about in the production environment. So if you see couple of things like express, course, app. Okay. So do you know about course issue? Course,
Yeah, sure.
right? So for
Yeah.
Cross
multi-domain,
origin.
multi-region or multi-domain support, you need this. So if you are, when you want to enable those, you can define here. If you related to those, if you want to write any code, you can enable this and you can do that. Express is an library for Node.js. You can import that and you can utilize. They have given it for reference. Okay, and you can register them so that you won't get courses. Now, once index is done, then it will come to app.js. Now, inside app.js, let's see how it is structured. So, as usual, you are doing the import, and then you are going to define that app function. Inside the app function, you are going to basically return the HTML content, right? So what that HTML content will be, that you define here. Okay.
Okay.
So in our first example here, we just the one button and simple HTML directly. Okay, but in our applications we don't do that. In our application or product, basically we route the path to those components, because there will be many components and all. So that is where the route concept comes.
Huh.
How you will
So
be
for defaultly, this app is included because of we mentioned in the index.js. Here, based on the path, it will route to the necessary page. Is it?
so in the uh, path in the application, the browser, you will be
Clear. Clear.
putting
Got it.
type.
Got it.
Let's
I
say
am clear.
by this is the default. When you run default, so your global home page uh, component is executed. Okay, in the browser
Yes.
when you type, okay, /gts/login, then login page component will be executed. So it is like path for that particular component.
So are we down importing login page component here?
Yes.
Can we go to the top? Okay. Okay. So this path is also defined in the page's common login page.
So this is a path of the code.
Right. So dot slash why should we mention Bhaiya here?
This is like a relative path.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So it will understand automatically. Yeah.
the route existed.
So the dot slash means whichever project folder we are in that it has to check for pages slash common slash login page. Okay.
Dot it says current, like current folder, and
Yeah.
then this path.
In the current folder, the page.
What is written? Yes. So in that way, we need to define these route paths, that whenever somebody types this particular URL, it should execute this particular page. So that is route.
So just have one doubt here, Bhaiya. So is this the common setup? If until and unless if you have a specific requirement, usually the index.js we are going to call one whatever that root is there. We load it by root. From that class we will load all these things. This is the common way, is it?
Yes,
This is
it's a
how.
better way of organizing. Like
Okay, got it. Usually projects are organized in the similar form fashion only, no?
huh,
Okay. So,
Maybe some little bit of tweaking, but mostly like this, right?
mostly like this.
but if I go to the some
This is
new React
straightforward
project,
and a popular way of doing.
super. So
So
if I go to the new React project, which is already there, I should start from index.js, who is imported there. From there, I can see this flow, no? By
Correct. Any
okay, got it.
application you download from GitHub,
Huh,
you should be able to follow this structure, so that you will understand how things are happening.
super.
Like in our let's say Spring Boot applications or servers, we have
Huh,
Spring framework, right? So you have a
yeah,
controller. You start from there. Then you
huh,
have
correct.
all the structures flow, right?
huh.
So this is about your app.js, and then once app.js is done, then goes to these individual files, and then it will take its on its own course.
Mm.
Okay, so I'll show you one page. So if you see the structure, all pages are kept under pages folder. Okay, all components are there under components folder. Then you have CSS folder. Go to pages
Uh,
folder and let me open one for you. Pages common global homepage.
I have one question here, Manoranjan ji. So if I'm creating a blank React project, I will have only index.js, right? In the
Index,
SRC.
app, service worker, and
Okay.
node modules. These common things will be there in that.
Okay. Any React project, if I create, these will be the common.
These are the basic commons. So
Okay.
maybe yeah, that's only. So remaining all like these all customized components, pages,
Yes.
properties. These all are customized.
Mm.
So I have a doubt here, like why we have three things here, Bhaiya? So like pages, components, and or
So
pages,
see,
components. What is
yeah,
the difference between these two?
between pages and components.
Huh.
Yeah.
So page is the one through router I am identifying app.js.
Huh.
Because of login, global home I have to go. I will go to the global home page, which is there in the pages folder. But what is the component here and what is the page here?
Give you one example. Show you in the website.
Huh.
So you see this particular page. Okay. Now in this particular page, this page itself is a component.
Okay. Clear. Multiple components will be there that will be embedded in a page.
Correct. So in
Okay.
this, I have a multiple component like menu, then you have body, then you have footer, okay, header, all these things. So those all are component. This is a very good question. Let me show you that. Right? So if you see this,
Huh.
global home page. So inside global home page, you have this footer. Before that, you have header, footer, then the body. Okay. So here, these two components which are like inbuilt, which I have separately developed, and those I have
Mm.
included here.
Right.
But
Right.
body is specific to this global homepage only. So body code is here itself. This is my body. But if you see, I have written the header component here first, similar to your my button. I've just imported this header. So under header, whatever code content is there, basically it is a request.
Come by default.
A header, then this is the body here itself, and then end you should find the footer component again.
So this is not by class, no? It's a functional approach.
It is a functional approach.
Okay.
It will be global for the project, right?
It is global for the project. So there is a functional approach, there is a class approach also.
Which one is a popular Bhaiya, and when should we use what?
Actually, they are complement to each other. Here, this is a class. So whenever you are defining any particular component, okay, you can define it as a class and which extends the component. Okay, and then you have this render. You are rendering it. Inside rendering method, you can have your own variables also being declared.
Okay, inside rend, this is a class only. It is not functional approach. This is a class which is having a render method. The render method will be returning it. Correct.
Okay. So now let me show you one more thing here. So pages are here, and then components, like you have this header component, right? So that header component is here under component folder, common, and then you have a header component defined here. Same structure, you have the header component defined. This header component will be is used inside the page. It will be there almost all pages.
Okay.
So that's all I wanted to show you today, and you can basically explore this, and you can go through this tutorial high level, try to understand, and just only this particular program only just import yourself, download it, and just explore. And this only you do to start with. Okay. Once you are done, then I will go through the other concept. I will review for a few days. Once that is done, then real time that application component development you will do around. If you target to develop 5-6 components, then you will be hands-on. That's all.
Yeah.
And to create the React project, what is the best way, Manoranjan?
I mean, you can do it any options, doesn't matter much.
Okay.
You use any starter, just use that. So here in the tutorial, we'll have certain starter. You can use that. Normally, when you are doing a scratch development, do that is take that starter. You'll view this template, and then you can do the npm start. That those commands and all I will show you later classes.
Sure.
So I just wanted to check your feedback. So does it help in this way?
Yes.
Would be the best way.
Directly we can go jump into the area, like how the code will be.
Right.
It will be better, Bhaiya. I mean, like we can go even faster as well using this thing actually, because easy to understand. That's why we can be faster.
Yeah. So I will explain this concept so that you understand how these concepts are mapped in the code, and then you practice the code yourself.
That's it. Yes.
Initially, maybe this speed would be enough, but going further, once we start doing hands-on and we are a little comfortable, we can, if you want, you can increase the speed also, like we suggest.
At least for a couple of days when we start hands-on, no, maybe some Yeah, some push up. Later, you can take it up more faster.
Yeah. So this is first time because this core concept was very important.
Huh.
So next, all those concept would be fine. Cool. So all right, I think this much for today, and then remaining we will spend more time on weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Sure, sure.
This Sunday, except this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any days is fine, Bhaiya. So attending some
The Saturday anyway we can meet, right?
Saturday can.
Saturday we can. Okay. So Saturday we will meet around 10 o'clock.
Huh.
Sure.
Okay.
Saturday anytime is fine since it's a weekend.
We can catch up couple of times on Saturday. So Saturday we will
Okay.
start it. We will have some discussion. Then you do some exercise. You can have conversation in between, and then again move on and catch up again certain time
Hmm.
like that. Throughout the day we will do it as we do work
Okay.
as if we are working day.
Huh. Sure.
Definitely. And Manoranjan ji, this session is recorded, right?
Recorded. I
Are
would
you?
upload it in YouTube and I will give you the link.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. That will be helpful. Thank you.
All right then. See you guys.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, bhai. Thank you, bhai.